Alright, I'm just gonna explain something about the driver space XLS data. That's an Excel file with all the data of all the drivers. Currently it's sorted with the wins. And yeah, you can find in column A or column 0 in the program. It's just the driver's name. Then the country, which should be correct. So Italy is ITA, not just IT or something, because that's loading the images, the country flags, and it's like in the web page. So Gavra called it like that, or someone else, I don't know. I just took over the short names. Okay, then entries as races. The driver raced in. Titles 1 is the titles the driver got. Wins as race wins, podiums is clear, and pole position should be also clear. The grade is not used anymore. License, I just used this column for seeing the new drivers from Academy to sort it a bit better from the database, what I already have and what to put in, but that's not relevant. Championship is relevant, so this column here indicates in which championship the driver is currently driving. So for Cash and Pirelli it's GT3, for Vectro it was Formula Renault, and I just renamed it for Multiclass. Also the GT3 B group, like Racer Real was in, is now GT4. And yeah, the team is, so this is basically very important to sort the drivers and to have them displayed as permanent drivers. It's not for the guest drivers or replacement drivers yet, but we will come to that. The team is basically the team the driver is driving in, so as a first driver basically, and not as replacement or something. The number is the car number, which will be displayed. The car, of course, is also named here, and this name will be displayed. For the multi-class, it will be just some combination of two cars put there in length. That is probably, so I adjusted it to the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG GT3. Which was the longest name, so everything which is shorter than this should be fine. Otherwise I have to change and rearrange some stuff. Liveries, that's basically the color of the livery, and the number will be displayed in the overlays like this. So it's in red, green and blue. That's just it. The livery here, this name, is basically the car which will be displayed in the overlay, so it's called like the file where the livery, or how the livery is called in the folder structure. I might explain the folder structure in a separate video. Car brand is not used yet. We can put it in to display, for example, the car brand and the ranking overlay or something like that. Helmet is also quite nice and quite focused this time. It's just a name how the helmet image is called in the folder structure, so it loads it according to this name. I just took always the name of the driver, and there's actually some stuff which will load the helmet only by the driver's name, so this should be the same, but here it's indicating that there is a helmet actually. So don't put something wrong here, otherwise the program will crash. It's not there's no exception handling there. So now we come to the points the drivers gained during the championship for several teams. So first of all, as Cash and Pirelli are in the GT3, they obviously earned points in the GT3. For Ferrari B team, this is the team, and it should be the same name as here exactly the same name, so that's what it's searching for in the program later. Yeah, and they just got it here, and there's no replacement driver for them. But for example, for the allied enemies I was driving in, there is, yeah, here, that's Elo, and he earned some points for our team, not only for the Senra Racing Academy, but also for our team, and therefore he's also in here. And this is also an indicator to load him as a replacement driver for the overlays, that you can display him while being in the GT3 overlay mode. So he's not only in the multiclass or Formula Renault, but also in the GT3. But that's obviously only data for last year, so it's not that relevant. Yeah, and it should be the exact same name. For example, I was driving in the Senra Racing Academy and Formula Renault later in the season, and this name should be exactly the same name, as it's searching for some real team to apply these points to. So the points I earned for them will be added to the team championship leaderboard. Yeah, and then there's also the short team name, which will be displayed also in the overlays to indicate who this driver is driving for, and that's only the first team. So even if a replacement driver is driving for some team, it will always shown that he is always his first team will be shown there. Yeah, and that's basically the drivers database. Then there's another sheet, it's a second sheet, you didn't saw it in the stream now, but there is, and now this is the tracks. This is now just already announced tracks and the GP versions. There's the date, and actually you see I didn't put any real date in, because what it actually does is this date is relevant for searching for the right track to display. So it will now some stupid dates, but later it will be the correct dates. And if you do the overlay, the broadcasting, you just click on the track info display, and then it will show the data from the track which has the correct date. So it will just search for the correct date from top to bottom, and then pick the correct race. I was doing this yesterday, as you saw, the 20th of January, quite often here to search for different tracks, to check whether they work or not. And yeah, then the data herein is the country you already knew from the drivers, in the same form. Of course, the name of the track, the country in full name, then turns, so how many turns this track got, the length in kilometers, the lap time of the best lap or the fastest lap, race lap, I guess it is. So I took it from the database, and in Gaffer Racing, of course. So the competition, it was done in FB, stands for Formula B, done by Cashnet, for example, for the Dubai Grand Prix track, the country of this driver. Then there are some data for the current race, which is the laps, which are all set to 20 now, because I don't know yet. The starting time 14:00, which is text, so it should be possible to, for example, put in some speed up of time during the race. So if it's like you start at 14 or 2 p.m. So to say, and the time progression is increased. Yeah, this can be shown here. It's not a problem. So it's not real hour here in Excel file, but as a text, which makes it a bit easier. Then there's the weather for qualifying, which will be different this year from the races. So I just set it all to clear. Then in the race there will be up to 4, because the game allows only 4 different weather settings. Can be 4, can be 1, can be 2. Doesn't matter if you put it like that or like that. But yeah, just some variety. I will put the names also in the Excel file, which will be used or will be searched for, so you can name it fog with uppercase letters or something. It searches for these keywords and will display the correct weather. Then yeah, there are some historic data from previous winners in the different competitions for this track. For example, for Dubai it's just Cashnet and the Formula B. Yeah, Cashnet won quite often, but there are others like Vector here. This okay, Cashnet also won this guy, but yeah, sure. So you see all the drivers displayed who won a race or multiple race on this track. It will be only shown one for each driver to yeah, not have that many drivers to display. It's the name, it's the class or the series, because multi-class, we have probably some multi-class displayed here for the future. Then the country, which is Sweden here. Yeah, and this data gets loaded and then it gets displayed. There are also, I don't know, I found some guys I don't know, and I don't know where they are from, like Hula, or how he's called, winning in GT3, the track, I don't know, Monza, and I just put the Olympic flag. So if you don't know any driver's country, just put OL inside here and it will just display an Olympic flag instead of the real flag. So it's just some replacement for if you don't know the country, like I do for this guy. Yeah, so this will be updated when the tracks and dates are finalized, and also the classes we are racing in. Yeah, there will be, so Dubai Grand Prix will be several times, so like 3 or 4 times, depending on how many championships we will be running. And it might be changed, I don't know, there's some national circuit or something like that, so it should display just for the right championships. So for example, if GT3 runs here and GT4 runs in the national or international or whatever, short sprint, whatever, it will display the right track with the right amount of turns, the right length, and also lap times and stuff like that. So, and the weather of course is different for all the championships, and probably also the laps. So yeah, sorry, I forgot some stuff. The first one is how to display the driver's name in the overlays in a suitable manner for you. You can sort them. That's basically the trick around this. For example, by team. So just sort them from A to B, and then they will be sorted like left, right, the different drivers. So if you are in GT3, that will be Hayo Madicake, and then the next one is Cashnet Ferrelli, and so on and so on. So to find the drivers a bit more easy, you can also sort them, for example, if you're doing GT3 by the points in this direction or the other one, yeah, stuff like that. So you can sort them in a manner that suits you the best to find them. quite easily and quite fast. Another one I forgot is the commentator and director. These two are like, this is for the commentator, this is for director. In the case of Hoof and Buxton Boy, it's bit different because Hoof is going to do commentary and cameras, and Buxton Boy is doing the overlays and the broadcasting with OBS and capture card. So this is also changeable and will be displayed whatever you type in there. So adjust it what you are doing, or what you want to be displayed there. So doesn't matter. This is also the country. Don't put something ridiculous inside. Just your country, which is usually Great Britain or Ireland. In the case of Soup. Yeah. This should be it. Thanks.